The gardener said setbacks are not stop signs, they are guidelines. Once in a bustling city lived a young woman named Maya. She dreamed of opening her own bakery. Her heart was filled with recipes. Her mind overflowed with visions of warm bread and sweet pastries. But there was one problem. Every time she tried to move forward, life pushed her back. Weeks passed, months passed, and although her dream remained alive, her hope was fading like colors in the setting sun. One morning, defeated and broken, Maya sat in a park. There she saw a gardener tending to a tree that looked half dead. Its branches were bent, its leaves were brown, it seemed beyond saving. Curious, she asked, "Uncle, why are you watering this dying tree? Why not plant a new one instead?" The gardener smiled and replied, "This tree was struck by lightning 3 years ago. Everyone said it would never recover, but I believe that setbacks do not mean the end. They mean a new beginning." Maya looked closer at the tree. Among the dead branches, she noticed tiny green shoots pushing through, signs of new life emerging from what seemed like complete destruction. The gardener continued, "You see, when lightning struck, it burned half the tree, but that very trauma forced the roots to grow deeper, searching for water and strength. Now those roots are stronger than any tree in this park. The setback made it more resilient. What tried to destroy it actually prepared it for greater growth." Those words touched something deep inside Maya. She asked, "But how did you keep believing when everything looked so hopeless?" The gardener sat down beside her and said, "Child, I learned long ago that setbacks are not stop signs, they are guidelines. When one path closes, they force you to find a better one. This tree could not grow tall anymore, so it grew strong instead. Sometimes what we think is failure is just life redirecting us towards something greater." That evening, Maya returned home with a new perspective. She looked at all her failed attempts not as endings but as lessons. The money she spent on her father's treatment taught her the importance of emergency savings. The rejected shop location saved her from a building that later had structural problems. Every setback had protected her or prepared her in some way. Instead of giving up on her dream, she decided to start smaller and smarter. She could not afford a shop, so she began baking from home. Just simple cookies and cakes for neighbors and friends. The first month she made only 10 orders. Her hands were tired, her kitchen was a mess, but Maya remembered the half-dead tree that refused to quit, so she kept going. She woke up at 5 every morning to bake before her day job. She experimented with recipes late into the night. Some batches burned, some customers complained, but with each mistake Maya learned. She improved her technique, she refined her flavors. She built her skills one batch at a time. Months passed and slowly her reputation grew. 10 orders became 20, then 50, then 100. People started calling her the cookie queen of the neighborhood. But just when things were looking up, another setback struck. Her oven broke down right before the biggest order of her life, a wedding with 500 guests. Maya felt the familiar wave of defeat washing over her. The old voice returned whispering, "See, you are cursed. Nothing ever works out for you." But this time Maya had changed. She remembered the gardener's words. Setbacks are not stop signs, they are guidelines. Instead of canceling the order, she reached out to 3 other home bakers in the city. She proposed they work together, splitting the order and the profit. To her surprise, they agreed. That one setback led to something beautiful. The 4 bakers formed a collective. They supported each other during busy times. They shared recipes and resources. They became friends and partners. What seemed like a disaster became the foundation of a network that made all of them stronger. 2 years passed since that day in the park. Maya still did not have her own shop, but she had something better. She had a thriving online bakery business. She had a team of talented bakers working with her. She had learned to turn every obstacle into an opportunity. Then one day she received a call. A small cafe was closing down and the owner wanted to sell. The price was reasonable and the location was perfect. But Maya hesitated. She remembered all her previous failures. What if this was another setback waiting to happen? That evening she visited the park again. The tree was now full of green leaves, strong and beautiful in its own unique way. The gardener was still there, now an old friend. Maya told him about the opportunity and her fears. He listened quietly and then said, "Maya, you are not the same person who sat here 2 years ago broken and defeated. That girl had a dream but no strength. You have been tested by fire and you did not burn. You bent but did not break. Those setbacks carved resilience into your character. Now you are ready not because life will stop challenging you, but because you have learned how to grow through challenges." His words gave Maya the courage she needed. She bought the cafe and transformed it into her dream bakery. But she kept the scars of her journey visible. On the wall, she painted a tree struck by lightning with new growth emerging. Below it, she wrote, "Our setbacks shape our strength." The opening day was not perfect. The coffee machine leaked. A batch of bread burned. A customer complained about the wait time, but Maya just smiled. She had learned that perfection was not the goal. Progress was, growth was, resilience was. Within a year, her bakery became one of the most loved spots in the city. But more than the success, Maya treasured the journey. Every setback had taught her something valuable. Financial loss taught her careful planning. Rejection taught her patience and timing. Equipment failure taught her collaboration and community. Doubt taught her inner strength and faith. One day, a young man entered her bakery. He looked defeated and lost. Maya recognized that look. It was the same expression she wore 2 years ago in the park. She offered him a cookie and asked what was wrong. He told her about his failed business, his lost investment, his shattered confidence. He said he was ready to give up on his dreams forever. Maya listened with compassion and then shared her story. She told him about every failure, every closed door, every moment she wanted to quit. She showed him the painting of the lightning-struck tree. She said, "Friend, you think your setback is the end of your story, but what if it is just the beginning of your greatest chapter? What if this failure is preparing you for something bigger than you ever imagined? The question is not whether setbacks will come, they will. The question is whether you will let them bury you or build you." The young man's eyes filled with tears and then with hope. He thanked Maya and left with new determination. 6 months later, he returned. He had started a small business again, learning from his previous mistakes. He was not where he wanted to be yet, but he was moving forward. Maya realized then that her setbacks had not just built her business. They had built her purpose. She was meant to inspire others who were struggling, to show them that failure is not final, that setbacks are setups for comebacks, that the darkest moments often come right before the brightest breakthroughs. Years passed and Maya's bakery grew into a chain. But she never forgot her roots. In every new location, she painted the lightning-struck tree. She hired people who had faced setbacks and needed second chances. She shared her story with anyone who needed hope. So my dear friends, remember this. Your setbacks are not punishments, they are preparations. Every closed door is protecting you from something or redirecting you towards something better. Like the tree that grew stronger roots after the lightning strike, your struggles are deepening your foundation. Like Maya, who turned every failure into a lesson, you too can transform your pain into power. And if you felt even a spark of hope, do not let it fade. Like this video, share it with someone who is facing a setback and subscribe to walk with us on this journey of resilience. Because your success is not determined by how many times you fall. It is determined by how many times you rise. Your setbacks today are setting up your comeback tomorrow. Keep going. Your breakthrough is closer than you think.